All right, we're here with Chris Palmer, and I'm interviewing Scottie Newman, and he's our. What are you? You're your sergeant, right?
Yeah, I'm day shift sergeant for Loudon Police Department.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Uh, I was wanting to ask you, what do you think about the chaos going on in the election today? I mean,
Well, I just think it's. I think now more than ever there needs to be like a federal guideline to how elections are held. We're very fortunate in Loudoun County to have the election commission that we got,
yeah,
and the job they do, and it's done the same way every time.
Yeah.
And so
exactly.
and I just I think across the country you had little quirks here and there.
Yeah.
And when you have that, all that does is breed doubt.
Yeah, when they change where they change the laws in certain different states on that, I was reading that was illegal for the judge to even change that because it was against the Constitution. And I'm sitting there going, wow, I mean, they're not even putting the Constitution to think. But yeah, Tennessee was lucky. I mean, we came out, it was all had smooth, nothing like that. And that was what I thought. How do you think the big cities are going to handle the chaos if the election's overturned? Like if it goes to Trump, like if his court case goes, and they say, hey, we got to throw out these, and Biden's not our president no more. It's going to be Trump.
I understand. That's hard to tell. I hope that calmer minds prevail, but just in the past year and the last few years with rioting and the looting and all that stuff, I think either way. I think if at the end of the day when if they say Trump wins or if they say Biden wins, it's going to be in the streets, I think.
Yeah.
And so I mean it's just you just hope and pray that nothing like that comes to our little town.
Right. No, ain't nothing like that gonna come to our little town. I'm not saying that. That's what I'm saying. Even in Knoxville and Chattanooga, I've never heard of anything like that happening. But they had a thing over there where they redid the election counts in Georgia.
Oh yeah.
And all the people for Trump, I guess the RNC went down there. And they were in front of the Justice Center and talking about that because basically, from what I understand, they took just basically the votes that showed up the election night and put them back out. And they wasn't going to have that. And they went to the courthouse. They went to CNN, actually, and sat out there and did that. And then they went to the governor's mansion over there and talking about that. And I was like,
I guess for lack of a better term, I've just kind of I've decided months ago that I was going to put my head in the sand and do me, and this whole election thing, with Trump,
crazy.
It's crazy how everything's come out and the hatred it brought with everybody. It's crazy.
Yeah. That brings me to my next question. Our country's divided right now, and in your personal opinion, how would you go about bringing our country back together?
Man, the biggest problem with this country is we're a godless country now.
Yeah.
No one has respect for their fellow man.
Yeah.
It's more of a self-gratifying type nature, and I don't know if we'll ever see it back together as far as the division. I think as politicians go, I've always kind of said this: you got your far left and your far rights, and the people with common sense are stuck in the middle here. And as I can look over here and go, hey, I see your side of the way where you looking at, but that's not how I feel about it.
Yeah.
So until we can get to where we
see eye to eye.
Well, or just disagree and have respect.
Yeah.
And a little empathy, I guess, would be more than that. Because the thing is that nowadays it's like, if you're for Biden, screw you, I'm for Trump. And if you're for Trump, screw you, I'm for Biden. And that's it's just.
I've tried to talk to people like that was for Biden, and I was like, I'm for Trump, and I'm not going to tell you any different, and they're like, oh, I don't even want to. I want to talk to you. Our family from up north come in, and one's totally Biden, the other one's totally Trump. I mean, and there's no talking about any kind of politics.
We'll just talk. Well, now you can't even talk about football anymore. You know, so we'll just talk about the weather. But you know, it's this. I don't know. I think another one another thing that just my personal opinion is that the media is our worst enemy.
Oh God, yeah.
What do you believe? I mean, you know, all the stuff going on with this election. What do you believe? I mean, who's telling the truth? This one says they're lying. This one says they're lying.
Exactly.
And now you got new places that are saying this one over here's lying. I mean, it's
exactly. We'll go to the let's see about the what do you think about Detroit's mayor canceling Thanksgiving and Christmas because of the COVID thing?
Well, you know, the COVID is of course you had the naysayers and the, you know, it's going to kill everybody type people too, and then but I just think that we ought to be able to make our own decisions. You know, let's make if a company, a business, somebody says, hey, wear a mask when you're in my business. Hey, I put the mask on. I'll wear my mask. You know, I wash my hands. I do have, you know, the other day I was in Virginia pumping gas. I had my mask on and my gloves, you know.
Yeah.
And so I go in there, clean up, go get on that, you know. I don't think that's an infringement on your rights or something like that. Some people see that as that way.
Just being kind of courteous to what somebody else wants.
Right, but and you know the deal with I just don't think we need. I guess some do, but I just don't think as a whole we need politicians and the government telling us what to do.
Yeah, I believe that too. I'm for smaller government.
And you know the thing is that you know, different if you go. And I've done some travel here and there just to go pick my wife up and stuff where she works. And I always, you know, I talk to people on the airplanes and stuff like that. And, you know, a lot of the people think the same way. They want to be cautious, but they also want to be able to go about and
do their daily
thing.
Yeah. That's like I was looking for a chest thing for my GoPro.
Yeah.
And it said Best Buy is like 14 something, right? And then I call to see if they have it, and you can't go in the store.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to know if you've got it or not? You know, you put me on hold and never answer the phone.
Yeah. But you know, one thing that comes out of that though, with the is I've done some of this and done some grocery shopping this way with. When Lois my wife was in Lexington, we went to, got on there and just looked at everything, and then they come out and put it in the back of your SUV, and man, you're gone. And I thought, you know, that's one good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. But of course, when I like to go out here to Food City and see people, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? You know, and of course, I'm still one of these people that it still takes me a little bit to recognize you when you get that mask on. But
oh yeah, that's what I walked by somebody and they hollered my name. And with their mask on, I didn't recognize them. And then they pulled their mask on, I seen who it was. And because I just had knee surgery and stuff, and they was like, "What are you walking with a crutch for?" And I was like, "Well, I'm just recovering from knee surgery. Right, I got it right now where I can walk on it, so I'm good right now." Let's see, what else is in here? Let's see. Do you think that the Democrats brought in the Dominion machines to rig the election in Biden's favor, or do you think that's just a myth that everybody's spreading?
Well, I think there's twofold there. I guess the biggest question I asked when that started coming out was, who would have gave that word? Who would have gave that order? Yeah. Would it be little individuals that said, okay, we're going to cheat this way or we're going to cheat that way?
Each state gets to pick which machine
right.
they get. So to have all them together, I think that all had to got together somehow.
Yeah.
But that I just don't see the states so far away doing that. I think they seen a cheaper machine and got it, and the reason they got it is because Chavez down in Venezuela had been using it. that's one of the guys. That,
See that's another thing that I've not really kept up with.
yeah.
I think there's cheating in every election if you go through public.
Yeah.
I would like to think that they wouldn't be able to steal election like that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It also goes back to, man, I just don't believe anything comes out of the media one way or the other.
Exactly.
I mean, so
I didn't notice, this is off topic from what I said, that Trump, I think it was in 2018, he put an executive order that nobody could use anything in our election outside that would be able to have foreign influence on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Dominion machines are made in Canada. Another one is made in Spain. And the reason the tallies took so long to come out is because some of them was being sent to Spain and then sent back here, and then some of them was being sent to Germany and sent back here after they were counted and stuff. And I just thought.
See, I just don't understand why they would do that. I just thought that they would all down
inside.
Yeah. And you know, and like I said, that's not something I really kept up with. But you know, there was that rumor that someone was telling me about. There's supposed to be some people that work for his Dominion. You said Dominion that said they cheated and done all this stuff, but then nothing's come of that. You know. So
well, now the Trump's lawyer said Friday that it'd take her this coming Friday, that she's supposed to put all that stuff to court. She said there was so much stuff that she had to go through and pick out what she don't want to go in court and what she does. And it'd be Friday before they wanted her to do it by Wednesday, and she had them extend it till Friday because she had so much stuff. Is what she said.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't know what stuff she's talking about or what it's gonna be, but we'll find out on Friday on that one. What do you think about the Clinton Foundation and other high-ranking Democrats being large shareholders in Dominion? That on the Democrat side, that's where I seen that's where it come from, and I don't know if that was part of the reason why they used those machines. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
You know,
it might be. Yeah.
You know, they're big in the Democratic Party. You know.
Yeah, and anything that I mean, that's one thing I will draw a line in saying is that. Anything to do with the Clinton
comment?
No, anything to do with the Clinton man is evil. I mean, those folks are, and you know, and I mean,
I know what you're talking.
I mean, they may have shareholder in and may be totally innocent.
Yeah.
But you know, but I'll just say if it's got Clinton's name on it, it's one of those things that you're just like.
That's what struck a nerve with me when I was looking it up and the different stuff, and I was looking through high shareholders in there. And those and a couple more high-ranking Democrats come about, and I was like, "Ooh, that kind of seems."
But you know, I think regardless of what happened, there was going to be. I think instead of it becoming more of a, you know, any election's a popularity vote,
right? Exactly.
And so you'll have people that voted. You know, that's just like when Clinton 4 years ago. Everybody voted. They didn't vote for Trump because he was the greatest thing. They didn't want Clinton. And, you know,
exactly.
And that's what, you know, and I think Trump has done some things along the way that's made a lot of people mad. And you know, and so he, I think that's what happened there. But I think I think both sides were setting the precedent as to whoever loses, we're going to call you cheated. You know what I'm saying? If you look at, you know, whether it be the mail-in, I don't like the mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
I think that I think that you should have to have your ID, and you go vote. I mean, that's what you should do. And then if you're you know, I know there's certain situations. You know, you got people that are in nursing homes. You got people that are overseas that are working or stuff like my wife. She's a lady but she come in just for the reason to vote.
Right.
But you know, but I just think you need to prove who you are.
Yeah. So I had one of my things that I done on here. I said it should be a closed circuit thing. Yeah. That way, like if you couldn't come in to vote, you could log in on a secure network on your computer, type in and have them take a picture of your license and everything that way, and from your webcam and so forth, and that way you could legitimize who you are and then vote, and then it goes straight to the electoral college things. Let's see, where was I at? If the election goes in Trump's favor, how do you think the far left will react to the decision?
I think you'll just have it'll be 4 more years of the same.
Trying to impeach and all that.
Yeah. I don't know what the next question is, but I think that you're going to have if it goes back to the same, to ask what the
next question: what would you and the rest of the police do if Antifa came to Loudon and started their peaceful protest, quote.
Right. Well, the thing is we are sworn to uphold the law, the Constitution. You can't come and you can't destroy people's things.
Exactly.
You can't cause chaos, and I think in a smaller town and smaller places, you'll see that there would be a lot less tolerance for the cussing, the carrying on, and stuff like that. It's just like if you go out here in Food City and you're cussing and carrying on, and we ask you to calm down, and you don't, you're probably going to go to jail for disorderly conduct.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, and I just hope that nothing like that ever comes, but I think it'd be handled a little bit different.
I don't think it will. I just put it in that scenario because I know when they took over, what was it, 3 or 4 blocks of Seattle, that just blew my mind that the police did not handle that better than what they did. If Joe Biden actually does win, what will you do about his gun control laws?
Well, there again, I took an oath 26 years ago to uphold the Constitution of the United States.
Right.
The Constitution says we're allowed to have a firearm.
Exactly.
So, I mean, they go in and change the Constitution, make executive orders. I think you'll see a lot of police officers that, with time under the belt, go to the house.
Yeah, I say that's.
I don't think that you'll have. I don't think you'll have the people that it's just going to cause that, and that's just going to levitate to the streets.
Exactly.
So, I hope and pray that doesn't happen. I hope that he gets in there. I hope he's the best president we ever had.
That's what I said the other night. I said if he is, I'll come back on here and do a video singing his praise.
Yeah.
I was like,
because to not be that, to not have that attitude of, is silly because we're all in the same boat. So you want him to succeed.
And it's like I told him on one. I said I'm not against Democrats being presidents because my favorite president was FDR. I think he done wonderful things, especially during World War II and everything. I mean, he brought us out of the Great Depression and everything. I mean, he just was great. I said, but I don't know if the Democrats today are like the Democrats back then.
Well, I think on both sides, if the Democrats stop worrying about being Democrats and the Republicans stopped worrying about being Republicans and started worrying about what they're going to do for the country and do for the people that voted them in there, we'll be a lot better off. But I don't know if we'll ever see that in our lifetime.
I don't think so. I don't think our kids will see it in their lifetime.
Probably not.
What would you and the rest of the... no, I've done that. Nothing's up there. Okay. Do you think that if Joe Biden gets in office that he will have a Marxist and socialist government agenda?
I mean, I don't think so. I think that, a lot of that is, I know there's a lot of things that go, that's kind of a hard question to answer, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't trust any of them, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
But the thing is that, the people aren't going to just stand by and watch that happen. I think if he goes in there with a lot of that stuff, I think you'll see or you have Democrats that do that step up and go, no, we're not doing that
Yeah,
stuff. And
that-
so I think that there are a lot of things that I believe in equal rights, and I believe in that. If it's not my opinion to judge you, if you go do you and I'll do me, and you know what, if I can help you down the road, I'll help you. If you can help me, that's the way we should get back to. And let's look after our fellow man, but I shouldn't have to go to work to keep him up,
Exactly.
or vice versa. So
exactly.
I hope that we don't get to that.
No. Okay. Going back to Biden's gun control policy, will you, as a police officer, back the unconstitutional amendments that he is going to be making an executive order on in his gun control policy? Because it says the right to bear arms is not to be infringed upon. Yeah.
Right.
And like I said, I read his gun control policy. It was on his webpage, and I was like, wow. Because he's talking about anything over 10 rounds, that would be your Glock 19 pistol you carry. I'm assuming that's what you carry.
22.
22? Good. I like it better. But it holds 15 rounds, I'm assuming.
Yeah, 16.
Plus, one
Yeah.
chamber. And that would be a $200, and it comes with, 2 mags and your gun. And he's trying to put a $200 tax on each one of those clips, and a $200 tax on the gun, like if you had a suppressor or a machine gun,
Right.
the same stamp, basically.
Well, I think what we'll see is that they're probably smart enough to know that we're not going to be able to go around here and take people's guns.
Yeah.
But I think what'll happen is you're going to be the ammunition for those firearms are going to be what's so hard to come by.
Yeah. Kind of like 22s were that one.
Yeah, and like they are now, they've gone up.
Yeah.
You can't really get a primer to make ammunition.
Reload.
You talk to the companies. I don't, but I have a friend that talks to a fellow that has a business down in Georgia, and that's the thing. Say, hey, we can't get primers, and so that's what I think will happen. Is that they'll that's how they'll mandate it. That's how they'll get their way.
They'll stop the businesses that make the guns actually go out. Yeah, that's one way of going around it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Joe Biden's stance on China?
I don't really, like I said, I don't keep up with Joe Biden. I don't keep up with a lot of stuff. I really wouldn't be educated enough to even make a comment about his stance on China.
Okay. Hey, I just put that one in there because they're really pushing their limits on. They're claiming Taiwan because they back in 14th century they owned it, and now they think they can go back and get it. Yeah,
I think if we're ever in a mass war, that'll be where it comes from.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I told him.
Yeah,
I said,
but as far that.
I said, all the Russia talk, I said, I don't think we should be talking about Russia. I think we should be talking about China. And China's the one that, now their Navy is actually bigger than ours now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, and when it said world's largest Navy, and I was watching the different ones, and then we come in number 2, and I was thinking, number 2, wait a minute, who's number 1?
We're supposed to always be number 1.
Let's see. Do you think that China or Russia is our biggest adversary? Yeah, you answered that just a minute ago. China was. What's your opinion on Joe Biden wanting to get back in with China? That's the you answered that earlier.
I don't think we need to have any ties with China. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think President Trump was one of the smartest men in the world to cut China off and put a tax on them, because they were getting all their shipments in here for free, and we were having to pay to ship over to China.
I think Trump's made some good decisions, but he's his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Don't you think, with some of the things he says?
Yeah, and him tweeting and stuff, he does say a lot of things that he shouldn't say.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the reasons that people voted for him, though.
Yeah.
Because they wanted somebody that just said it off the cuff and out the mouth.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about the Venezuelan high-ranking military man he was telling about the Dominion software, how easy it was. He was watching it how they used it to rig on that Chavez down there.
Yeah.
And that's he told them about the back doors and stuff in it, and it shocked them. He come in there and hacked it in 5 minutes.
Really?
5 minutes and had 1 million votes on one side. They told him, said, I want 1 million votes on 1 or 2, whatever number it was.
Yeah.
And he went in there with a card, and there it was.
I'd say anything that's electronic could be hacked.
Yeah.
I'm sure, but
Oh yeah.
man, it's scary that the way they do that, isn't it?
I know. I think it ought to be like military. We can't pop over here and listen to our military going on where they're going. I think our election ought to be like that too. I think once we cast that ballot, it ought to be gone and nobody else can see it.
And it'll all be like that across the country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll go to one place and then there's no confusion.
Right.
And then the computer tallies it up and then whoever's got the most wins and then the electoral college goes and gives them the votes. One more question. You gonna run for sheriff when Tim retires?
I am not.
Not? Why not?
No. Well, I've thought about this for a while, and I really enjoyed running for sheriff. I really enjoyed getting out and meeting people.
Because I know it was a close race between you and Tim.
I don't know. He got me he about doubled me up, but he got me he had about 5,000 something, and I had 23 something, and I think Marty had like 600. So, it was more about what I wanted to get done, and the city of Loudon's been awful good to me.
Yeah.
And
that's because you're a good cop.
I appreciate that, but I really enjoy the men I work with, and I enjoy, all the guys.
Right.
And so I just. My wife and I have talked about it. She does a lot of traveling with her job, and so I'm able to kind of take long weekends and stuff. And so if I'm the sheriff, I wouldn't be right for me to be out and do that. Maybe sometime down the road, but this time around in 2 years, no. I'm gonna probably just live out my days here in the city. Like I said, I've got it made, and the city's been good to me, and I love working here. And I'm a Loudon City guy, man. It's hard to, it's hard not to be able to talk trash about Leonard City and Loudon football.
Yeah.
If you're the sheriff, you got to be kind of
neutral.
Of course, I'm a big Greenback fan too. I ought not say that on the thing, but I like Greenback over there. My brother coaches over there, and I always like those folks over there. Yeah, I mean the mayor, county mayor, and I. Used to call their games on playoffs. Of course, now the last year or so we haven't been too deep in the playoffs. But of course, Loudon has. We got put out last week. But
did we get put out last week?
Yeah,
I didn't see.
And then of course it'd be Red Bank beat us, and they'll play Alcoa this week. So
I don't think they'll go through Alcoa.
Well, Alcoa's one of those things. You got to have an A game. They got to have a C game, and But no, I appreciate that asking that. But I've decided that I'm just gonna live out my days here in Loudon and see what I can do here. And who knows? We got the chief at one of these days might retire. I may try to
become chief
down there.
That'll work.
But anyway, who knows? Yeah. But, like I said, we got a lot of things going on in Loudon. A lot of stuff growing. There's talk, and I guess it's pretty close to getting there. They're talking about putting a drive-through, like a big jumbotron drive-through type, like the old drive-throughs that they had back there behind the Taco Bell. Yeah, it's kind of modernized and gonna have. It's pretty nice. I seen the brochure he had sent to the council or sent to the county commission to get them to look at it, but the city and the county own that property back there, and he's going to lease some from him. But we got all and Loudon's booming, buddy.
Because we got Burger King now. Yeah. We got
you got all those houses up there behind Burger King that are about sold.
Yeah.
And if you go back here behind Food City, you'll see that they got, they've built and filled up this whole side. Now they're on this other side. That first cul-de-sac's down there filled up. Then they filled up a second one, and now they're starting on the third and the fourth. So
it's going to get. That's what I tell everybody. I said, my little sister, she works down at Sweetwater Hospital. Yeah. I said, now think about this when every time you drive into Sweetwater, I said, you driving up there, if you look up there on your left, I said, Jesus has got his back turned towards you as you're going into Sweetwater. I said, he's got his arms open when you're coming into Loudon. I said, that's a sign right there if you've ever seen one.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the
Well, I
interview,
appreciate
Scotty.
it, man.
I'll holler at you sometime.
Yeah, if you ever need anything, just let
Yeah.
me know, buddy.
All right.
I'm not an expert, but I don't care to run my mouth.
That's me too.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
I hope your thing does well, man.
Yeah.
I'll share it on there. And
I've been trying to do it. I got bored and I kept hearing different stuff, and I was talking to my wife about it. She goes, "Why don't you go and rant on YouTube about it?" And then I started doing rants, and I thought, "Well, why don't I interview somebody?"
Yeah.
And then after you, I'm gonna try to get Jimmy if I can chase him down at which store he's at that day. Because I'm going to ask him a little bit behind the scenes of what our Tennessee government.
Yeah, you know, we got some good, I meant to say that earlier on that thing, we got some good folks that take care of us. I mean, you got Lowell Russell.
Yeah.
You know, you got the Lieutenant Governor.
Yeah.
Randy McNally.
Yeah.
You got Ken Coffey. It's his area. You got Tim Burchett. I love Tim Burchett. He's a good guy.
Tim's
so
a good guy.
we got some good folks that represent us around here. So we got some good local guys too.
Yeah. That's what I was going to.
And
hopefully, I'll track him down and get an interview with him and see what he has to say about it.
Right.
But I appreciate it. We'll end this interview. I told you it'd be about 30 minutes or so.
I'm going to go eat some Mexican.